Good morning, everybody. How's it going? It is 9:41 a.m. Mountain Time on Friday, August 6th, and we're going to get going. We got a lot to talk about, as you'll see soon in my tabs up top. Got a lot to talk about. So, got a lot of news. Big stuff coming up today, tomorrow with legislation that could affect the crypto market, the whole entire crypto market in general. A lot of news though. We have the EIP 1559 launch, and then I want to go over the charts and altcoins. And I am super duper bullish right now, but I'm going to tell you why. It's something you want to have a little bit of caution about, not a little bit, a lot of caution about today and tomorrow and over the weekend. I'm going to get into that. So if you do end up liking what you see in this video, please hit the like, please hit the subscribe. I appreciate it greatly. Other than that, just remember, I am not a financial advisor. None of this is to be considered financial advice. Everything in this video is for informational and educational purposes only. I'm just a trader, but I have my opinions and I do want to share them. So let's get into it. Okay, so as I said, there's a lot of news to go over, some big stuff happening this weekend, but first I wanted to talk about what happened yesterday. The big news, huge for Ethereum, is the EIP 1559 London hard fork launch. Before I get into that, guys, join us in Stock Market Mentor Forum sooner rather than later. Trust me on that one. Yeah, didn't look into the camera as I winked, but we go over a lot of crypto stuff constantly. Always good to have a few more sets of eyes on things. I'm constantly watching the crypto market 24/7. I'm going to sleep with my phone next to me as I doze off. Not that I catch everything, but I always have my eyes on it. I love crypto. I've definitely made money off of ideas that others have shared in the Stock Market Mentor Forum. So come join us sooner rather than later. Trust me on that one. Anyways, talk about the EIP 1559 London hard fork. Went very smoothly. There's actually a video that you could watch of Vitalik and his buddies watching as it goes live and their excitement, and it's pretty cool. You could watch where the Ethereum burns on watchtheburn.com. Looks like it's not coming up right now. Maybe the server's overloaded. I don't know. Maybe more and more people are watching this and bringing up the website. Anyways, wanted to explain still the EIP 1559 doesn't make ETH deflationary by limiting its supply. It makes it deflationary by eventually, after more and more users and the burning of the Ethereum, that it outweighs the block rewards and stuff like that. So anyways, that's how it works, and wanted to share that with you because I was a little confused about it myself. I'm not a big fundamental researcher. I'm more of a technical researcher. But one other big piece of news that I wanted to share is this headline: Ethereum's inventor claims the network is ready for a major update that would cut energy use by 99%. What that means for me is the only way to do that is to go to proof of stake from proof of work, or whatever it ends up being. I haven't researched too much into it, but I was watching a Bitcoin news show and somebody brought that up, so I wanted to at least search to see if there's any, it's in fortune.com, see if there's anything. So I'm going to look more into that in the future, but that got my head thinking a little bit, right? That got my head turning and thinking, spinning. Just when there was the B word conference, Elon Musk said that he owns Bitcoin, he owns Ethereum, and he owns Doge. If you know and you've been around this year only, you know that the price of Bitcoin tanked when Tesla announced that they will no longer be accepting Bitcoin as payment because it is not energy efficient. If you know anything about Tesla, they don't really make the money off of their cars. They make their money off the government subsidies for the green energy, and that you could debate that however you want to, but that's how it works. So Ethereum price rises after Elon Musk confirms he owns the cryptocurrency. So he owns Ethereum. He's looking for a clean energy cryptocurrency to accept as payment. He initially accepted Bitcoin, stopped doing that because he found out it wasn't energy efficient, and in fact it was not energy efficient at all. So if this happens, this could be a big thing for Tesla and Elon Musk. Just a thought, just a speculation on that. So let's move on from Ethereum. JP Morgan now offers clients access to 6 crypto funds, but only if they ask. So it's tiptoeing further. Just wanted to show this just because I like to show the adoption and the growth of cryptocurrency being used. Next digital asset platform, ZipMex, partners with Visa in Asia Pacific. So just showing more and more work towards moving along. And now even with altcoins, Swisscom will become a Chainlink node operator. If you know anything about nodes, anybody could purchase a node and you just help secure the network by having that node, and you have a full copy of the blockchain on that node if you own one. If you know anything about how crypto works, I'm not going to go through that right now, but that's basically saying that they're going to have a full copy of the blockchain, and that they will every node, the more nodes there are, helps secure the network, because every node needs to agree with every single transaction. So, okay, moving on. Coinbase users can now buy crypto with Apple Pay, so another move in the right directions. Just kind of zooming through these. Now, here's the big thing, right? Here's the big thing that happens this weekend. This is the one you really need to pay attention to this weekend, possibly tomorrow, Saturday. It could pass. Maybe today. I think tomorrow is when the vote got moved to. But White House confirms support for minor changes to the crypto tax proposal. So minor changes, there may be more than this, but here's the big thing. The crypto community is pushing back against amendments to the crypto provisions of the White House's infrastructure plan, which seeks to raise $28 billion for infrastructure funding through expanded taxation on crypto transactions and impose new reporting requirements for crypto brokers. Quote brokers, and I'll get into that in a second. But here's the big thing: raise $28 billion. They want $28 billion, so they're going to try and push this through. I think it could pass. So what is it exactly? Well, it's an infrastructure bill, and it's a $1 trillion infrastructure bill, I believe. That it's just $1 trillion infrastructure deal. So again, more inflation coming for the U.S. citizens and U.S. dollars. Great. I don't know what we're doing. It's crazy to me. But anyways, it's just kind of snuck in there, a crypto provision in an infrastructure bill. So Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says, I'll get into more about what it is, the broad details of it. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says proposed crypto tax rule makes no sense. This is why it essentially KYCs everybody with a wallet. So if you have a wallet, if you have a MetaMask, they're going to KYC you, and you're going to have to tax every transaction, essentially like a broker. The Coinbase CEO, like many other opponents of the proposal, faulted the broad language of the bill's wording. According to Armstrong, the bill extends the definition of the term broker to anyone who facilitates a digital asset transfer. So you, with a wallet, Uniswap, 1inch, all these decentralized exchanges, this makes no sense, Armstrong tweeted, referring to the broad broker definition in the bill, adding, smart contracts, for instance, are not companies and cannot be modified to collect KYC info or issue 1099s. They are simply software running on the blockchain that anyone can use. So as you can see, this is pretty rushed through. Tried to get snuck through. Snuck's a word, right? Why does that sound wrong? But it's pretty garbage if you really look into it. And I haven't really looked into it, but from what I've seen, it's pretty garbage. So a quick explanation on what happened with the infrastructure bill last night. This was at 8:35 a.m. on August 6th today, so Mountain Time. We were on track to pass the Wyden-Loomis-Toomey amendment to fix the worst issues with the bill, and then Senators Rob Portman and Max Warner came from nowhere to blow it up. Now the vote's tomorrow. As a refresher, the current infra bill draft has a provision expanding the tax code definition of broker to include any person who, for consideration, is responsible for regularly providing any service effectuating transfers of digital assets on behalf of another person. This definition is wildly overbroad. It captures nearly everyone in crypto, forcing them all to surveil users in order to comply with tax reporting obligations. We spent all week asking Congress to remove it, to change it, or add exceptions for miners, developers, and many others. Thankfully, some smart senators understood that the language in the original draft was unworkable, really is unworkable. It treats everyone in crypto like a traditional financial institution, no matter how different they are, and forces them to report data to the IRS so that they don't have and can't get. So you have some quotes from senators, but that's essentially what it is. It's impossible. It's an impossible thing. What does this mean? I mean, if this were to pass without any additional language or change language, it'll probably pass at some point regardless, depending on what the language becomes. It would cause a significant drop in the price of Bitcoin and all of cryptocurrency. Again, it would set up the longs who have been fighting, this downtrend that we worked our way back up to 42,000, and it would drop back down instantly. So big deal. The other thing that would probably happen is if this were to pass without any wording changes or taking any wording out, crypto would move out of the U.S. It would completely move out of the U.S. Those that are able to, completely, like no doubt in my mind. So, anyways, that's the big thing. So keep an eye out open for that. Keep an eye out for that. Want to get into the charts now. So hopefully that was helpful to you. These charts, I'm not going to be able to hit everything. There's a lot that's moving. Like, trust me, I know. There's over 8,800 cryptocurrencies right now. So I got to keep it very limited, and I got to go through it relatively quickly. So let's start off with the big one, Ethereum. We're at this resistance point, that if we break through, we'll probably pretty easily head to like the 3,400 area. And I don't see why we wouldn't break through this. Nothing going badly with Ethereum. Everything's going right, and that's where all the hype is right now. We break through that, we could possibly push back to all-time highs around 4,400. I don't see why that couldn't happen unless something like that bill went through. Nothing to overthink here. The trend is your friend. You see, even after 11, 12 days of pretty much green every day except for this one day, dips get bought up. You look at that wick right here. You look at smaller dip right here getting bought up. I wouldn't be surprised for this to push through this resistance any minute now. Could it drop back down to the 50-day moving average? Yeah, it could. We'll see. I guess I hold Ethereum long term. Most people do. I don't really trade Ethereum too much. I just kind of hold it. So moving on to Bitcoin, I just wanted to go over Ethereum first because it is the hot topic. It is the big mover. It is the big news. And honestly, I think that it'll flip Bitcoin one day. I really, really do. It could be 10 years from now, but everything's happening on and with Ethereum, and hopefully there's some, well, hopefully, not hopefully, I don't really like getting into arguments, but if there's any Bitcoin maximalists watching this, will give me crap about that, but I don't care. I see what's happening. I see everything building off of Ethereum, and sorry, I don't consider Bitcoin as decentralized as some may think. Anyways, moving on to Bitcoin, it still is king. Trust me, I know that. Bitcoin moves the market. Bitcoin goes up, the market goes up. Bitcoin goes down, the market goes down. In general, right? Obviously, there's some few exceptions here and there. So, looking at Bitcoin, good recovery after this, bull flag here. Pretty sharp bull flag, and recovering back up. Obviously, we want to get through this 42.5 area. Break this high that we made on the 1st of August. But looking really exceptional here. I don't see why we wouldn't go back to test the 200-day moving average. I think we get rejected there. As I've said this many times before, we get rejected there. And as the 50-day curls up and the price slowly moves down, the 50-day puts pressure back up on the price of Bitcoin, and that's when we break through the 200-day moving average back up to 47,000. I have all my Bitcoin investment in right now, and I've made my buys between 31,700 and 37,000, and I won't make another buy until, and look at, we're pumping up right now, pushing that 42,355. Could happen right now that we break through this, but I won't make any other decisions, and this is just my hold until I'll reevaluate when we get above 47,000, which I've been talking about for a long time, or if we drop down to 20,000, which still could happen. I don't count that out of the, probably not likely. I mean, we do have that legislation coming up, so it's something big to watch. It could affect the price of Bitcoin very greatly. So moving on to Bitcoin dominance, been kind of sideways, up and down, choppy, back below the 50-day moving average on it, nothing significant. Pretty much Bitcoin's moving up and alts are moving up, Bitcoin's moving down and alts are moving down. So nothing's really separating itself. There's been some few instances like Bitcoin was coming down, Luna was going up. We had a really good trade on that. Right now, Filecoin's going up as Bitcoin is also going up, I guess, so it's not working against it. But there are some exceptions to that here and there. You're lucky if you catch them. Bitcoin futures, we still have that gap at the 930 area. The one at 24,000, just under 24,000, didn't fill, so they don't necessarily have to fill. This one's kind of far away, and right after, I mean, this was a strong gap up on super high volume, and we've continued to move upward from it. So, not seeing that fill, but I could be wrong. Anyways, moving on to the altcoins. Altcoin market cap showing at resistance. Really, we want to break through the market cap at 933.361 billion. I'm going to move this up to there, and yep, that's where we want to be. So almost back to $1 trillion market cap in the altcoin market. So good, they're slowly climbing up. So want to get into some altcoins. Not going to get into every single one of them. Already went over Ethereum, but ERN, and NFT, really low market cap. Just launching all, they're really connecting their NFT sales with all these professional sports athletes. The most recent one was Leo Messi. That one was announced. He's a lot of people's favorite soccer player. I'm not a big soccer guy, but I know the name. And we're just in this pennant right now on the daily. We got an inside day here. We're looking like another inside day here. Very bullish. A lot can happen, but this is definitely a bullish formation. Like to see more volume, but we had the big volume off of the news. So just watch these trend lines here within this pennant. And I don't know. This is one that I don't want to go without holding. It's one of those lower market caps I don't put a ton into, but could see potentially really high returns. When it first launched, it was $3. It was like under $1, I think like 20 cents of the pre-sale price. And it went from $3, which I thought was high, to $10. And I'm like, okay, I'll wait for a pullback. And it never pulled back. It went straight to $73. So no doubt in a bull market that can't do that again. I think it definitely can. So moving on, another NFT, Super Farm. This is easily one of my favorites, even though, from the $4.77 mark came down significantly. But been watching it down here, bought in the mid 40s. I trade some, I do hold some. There's some that I'll hold for a long time. Bought some more at 66 cents after talking about the 65 to 72 cent area being the buy zone again after it ran to 96. So definitely want to pass that 96 area again, 96.6, 96 exactly. Always see some psychological resistance around $1 or $100 or $1,000. It's just kind of the way it works. But we got a reversal pattern here, so no reason why this couldn't continue. We may cup here. We may form like a cup and handle base or a cup without handle base. So we'll watch for pivot points to form. Right now that pivot point is 96. That's where I'll buy more aggressively above 96. And I don't. There's a lot on the table. I really trust that they'll follow through with their video game. And video games are hot right now, and they're selling NFTs right now. They're going to incorporate NFTs into their game, and they're going to create the Superverse, which is going to be similar to Decentraland, but in my opinion, is going to be a whole lot better. And I'm just a lot to look forward. I think this can be a top 20 in the future. Right now, it's like a $200 million market cap. But moving on. ICP, this is one that has been incredibly disappointing, but has been on my watch list for like a week or two now again, after we've formed this long bull flag and just waiting for it to break out, and it finally did in a big way, and it's looking really nice. And this is one that can move a lot or dump a lot, and right now it's moving a lot. So on the right side of this one, could probably see some resistance right now, but this tends to move big when it moves. So yeah, definitely seeing some resistance right now. Not super strong resistance, but 50.98. That's what we're going to want to look to break through. And then after that, the 59.45 area. Hopefully it gets that high. That's a pretty big move from where we're at, but this has been known to do it. I remember the first time it caught my attention was this, when it literally went from a low of $92 to a high of $224. I know the supply has been increased as developers dumped a lot into the supply pool to help fund and pay for things, but that's from the amount they dumped. It's completely done now, so it won't happen again. So will it go back to 200, 250? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm just watching the chart and the price action, good volume, so looking really well. And lastly, really moving well. I kind of got lucky with it. Not lucky, but the timing on it was really good for me. I was looking at the weekly chart, and it just looked like, yeah, this is looking really good, like it's coming off the bottom, 3 white soldiers on rising volume. And it's like, yeah, I like that. And I look at, the resistance areas, and I'm like, yeah, this can go to $9,700, potentially more if we break through that. First, let's get to, 65, and we're about there. But going really well, and what happened is they partnered up with Chainlink. We're excited to announce that Chainlink and Filecoin are launching a new joint program for devs to drive hybrid smart contract innovation involving bi-directional connectivity between Chainlink decentralized oracles and Filecoin immutable storage. What does that mean? No idea. Not really. I just know what Filecoin does and what Chainlink does, and they're partnering up to do something. The price has responded to it. That's all I care about. I'll read into it more. I may still not understand exactly, but bi-directional connectivity, yeah, that's I'm going to read into it a little more. But I know it came out, the price responded, it's still responding. That's what I like. Moving on, Luna consolidating a little bit. It's looking strong, though. It's looking like it's almost certainly going to break out. We had this inside day here, and we're already breaking to the upside from it. We retreated backwards, and we're responding with some buying pressure. So I am pretty confident that this will continue to run. We saw that 566, it came up to, or 1566, it came up to 1572. Took some profits there. Always safe to take profits. I'm still holding this. I think it goes to 20 plus. That's just my own thoughts. We got to break through that 1566 resistance. You can see a lot of trading action happening right in there. So definitely some stronger resistance. Everybody's going to be watching that. So could see this, kind of hold sideways for a while. But it's looking like, we get some more volume. We'll bust through that, and we'll do it pretty strongly. Also, just a reminder, keep in mind that if this legislation goes through and the price reacts negatively to Bitcoin, this is going to affect altcoins more significantly. But market's not responding to it too strong right now, so I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe people just don't know about it, or maybe people just aren't that scared about it, or it's really not that serious as I think, or people just don't feel like it's going to pass. Which $28 billion involved, I don't know why it wouldn't pass. But anyways, moving on to Solana. This is one at about the 35.80 area I bought. Pulled back slightly, so it's kind of like, I probably bought a little early, but it was looking really good above the longer term trend line, bull flag, above the 50-day moving average. Probably bought a little early because it hadn't quite broken out yet, but definitely see this coming up to the 42, 44 area, probably more like the 44 area, and it's looking nice. It's just been following through on good, it's still relatively low volume, but moving higher and higher. Price action is good. Next spot I'm looking for is around that 42 area, and it's just gaining a lot of traction. So good buy there. And RSI is still relatively low, not into the overbought area yet, so I don't see why this wouldn't keep going. Moving on to talk about Chainlink. Chainlink had a big move. That was kind of like the first big mover, from this area. Then Polkadot and Uniswap followed, Luna, other things. They were already moving, but this was like the first big move heading into August, and it's just kind of consolidating now. But you can see dips are getting bought. Volumes died off a little bit. It's calmed down a little bit, but Chainlink, I mean, if you believe in DeFi, Chainlink is kind of what connects everything and makes it possible. So, I mean, if you believe in DeFi, you want to own Chainlink. But, we are at a resistance area. I don't see why this wouldn't go up to more like the 2657 area should we break through that. And, kind of starting this upward trend line to know the tops of the channels and moving on. Uniswap. So Uniswap, Chainlink, and DOT kind of move together. They've always kind of been around the same price areas, and if not, one will catch up or another will sell off. So Uniswap in the middle of breaking through the 200-day moving average right now at 25.54, and it's sitting at 25.88. Uniswap is the main user of Ethereum, main decentralized exchange user of Ethereum. It's built entirely off of Ethereum. Ethereum is its currency that it uses. So when you're buying, you'll get the cheapest swap when you're using Ethereum just because they have such a high supply of it. So Ethereum EIP 1559 goes live. It's big for Ethereum. It's big for Uniswap. So right now it is, breaking out past the resistance. It broke out yesterday or 2 days ago. It was right here on Coinbase, 23.44. 98 on Binance. It was 23.456. So looking at the next area, going to, I already have that marked, the high of, we already broke through 2468. That's going to be, that was a big selling area right there. You can see from that wick, big selling area. So looking for 27.344, and it's just been cruising past. Got a little bit of resistance here, you could see at that 23456 area. So this is again, I've taken profits on it, so I'm just holding it now, taking my profits on the trade. So just holding, to see how far I can go. Polkadot back over 20. Definitely going to see some resistance here at the open of this candle at 2616. So this would be a good spot. Just for my strategy, I hold a core and trade around it. So this would be where I would look to take profits. Not going to do that live just yet here, but on my trade. Now, if you're just a long-term holder, you'd probably have a different mentality than that. But through the downtrend, my strategy had been like enter a trade, take profits at resistance, move my stop into profit. So I don't turn a good trade into a losing trade. So now that I've built up positions and I'm holding cores, now it's like, I'll hold the majority of it, but my trade, this is where I'd close out my trade, just in case. I mean, it could run up to $26 and be like, oh, I should have held that trade a little longer. But as a trader, that's something I gotta be okay with and live with, and I am. So as an investor, this is one that I hold. Anyways, so wanted to definitely go over those altcoins with you. So hopefully, that was helpful. Obviously, there's probably 50 more I can go over, but just wanted to touch on those ones, as those are the ones I'm following the most adamantly. So yeah, definitely some stuff in there I felt important to touch on. The news, the big thing to watch is that legislation, whether it goes through or not, and in what way, and how the price reacts to it. So super bullish on Bitcoin. That could change things, but done all my buying, and if it comes down to 20, I'll watch it again there. If it goes up to 47 and over, I'll reevaluate there. Altcoins been doing really well with those, so hopefully that continues. But all we could do is watch the charts and watch the news and see what happens. Again, join us in Stock Market Mentor forum, stockmarketmentor.com. You're going to want to do that soon if you have been thinking about it. And then also, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I definitely appreciate it. My next goal is 1,000 subscribers, so I keep growing one by one. And that just gives me validation that I'm providing useful content to people. I feel I am, but that gives me the feedback needed that I do. So anyways, thanks for joining. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Bye.